Hello everybody and welcome to Saphire Mox's first YouTube video. Today we're going to be looking at some components that I've crafted for a Theta Blade. I'm in one of my favorite spots out in the desert. As you can see, it's nighttime. We've got some beautiful starscape happening there. Okay, so let's look into this. For this one I've already created the components. There's going to be a lot of experimentation that goes into this. I will be selling and or trading components and or finished blades to those who want to leverage my services as a master artisan. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Alright, so without further ado, let's take a look at my cluttered inventory here. Right now, I've already crafted two components. We have an emitter. As you can see, overall quality 855, attenuation 980, and focus 961. So, Ethan did a great job of describing the different attributes and what they mean in his video. I've made some notes here. But the focus of these videos is going to be experimentation and the results of that experimentation. So that's the first emitter I've ever created, condition 98, overall quality 855. Here we have a power distribution matrix, overall quality 965, out of 1,000, so pretty impressive quality there. Energy output 180, thermal output 196. Some of these materials, resources, ammo that I've got to give to somebody. And let's take a look at this. Too much clutter.
I don't think there is any question. I don't think there is any question about it. It can only be attributable to human error. This sort of thing has cropped up before, and it has always been due to human error.
And let's do this. There we go. Wow. Had me worried there for a minute. So if we look at the Theta Blade components, we have the emitter, which we've created. We have this. Alright, so we've got our power distribution matrix, which we've created. We've got our emitter, which we've created. We've got our downstream capacitor, which I have not yet created. So what we're going to do right now is when we look at the downstream capacitor, and we go into this, we got 15 metal attribute shock resistance, 15 metal for the retrograde resonance dissipation unit. Retrograde resonance dissipation. So we got 15 metal that requires shock resistance. We've got 12 copper field coil stabilizer that requires conductivity, or the major attribute is conductivity. And then we've got 13 units of non-ferrous as part of the waveguide fluctuation compensator, and that is also conductivity. So as these are some of the coolest things that I think have come out so far in this game, and I want to see, I'm always striving to create the best. I'm going to use some of my best mats So when we look at shock resistance, finding a non-ferrous metal with high shock resistance is incredibly difficult. I have a lot of resources, probably nearing, well, I know it's nearing 1 million resources. For most things, I have, 8 to 10 choices of different attributes for those resources due to the different things that we've harvested. So this is actually the highest shock resistance for a non-ferrous metal that I could find, 799, which compared to a lot of the other ingredients is quite low. Most of the time you'll see me using things that are at least 900 as far as the major attributes. So I'm going to give you a rundown as I go through this. So we're going to use the thallium copper here. As you see, approaching 800 out of 1,000 gets you quite a good result here. If we look at the copper, where we're looking for conductivity, I'm going to go up, and I think, is it my polysteel? No, polysteel is only 823. I think it's my thallium. Where is my thallium copper? Right here. Thallium copper conductivity 864. I'm going to quickly switch over to my spreadsheet over here to ensure that I am picking the appropriate metal. So conductivity, copper. Okay, so 900 is actually the best. However, the 894 for the thallium is the most abundant as far as my supply at approximately 50,000 units. So, in this case, and knowing that this is early days, and that eventually, we're going to see even bigger, better, potentially more amazing components as well as final weapons. Let's go with the copper that I selected here. One second. Throw that copper in there. And the first one was 15%, 15 units of metal with shock resistance. That is where we were talking about the thallium copper that we want to use there. So this copper with the conductivity of 864 and the shock resistance of 799 is actually quite good. I just want to take a quick look here. Polysteel conductivity is 823. This polysteel conductivity is 900. Oh, alright, so here's my 900. This is a very rare metal. This was a special drop that Ethan created a very long time ago for some people that were dying out in the desert, and he wanted to share the abundance of rook with them. So he went and did that. So I think I'm going to go with this 864 just because I'd prefer to keep that special copper or something special in the future. And the difference between 864 and 900 is not that significant. So, got our mats all selected. We're going to say assemble, yes, create object, yes, and there we have it. So we go over here, we have our downstream capacitor, overall quality 881. So So not bad actually. The power distribution matrix came out the best with 965 overall. The overall quality on the emitter is 855. However, I believe that's because the emitter takes polymer. Polymer has also been a challenge as far as finding the appropriate stat at a high enough rating. So I think that dragged that down a little bit. 881, not bad at all. So we've got our downstream capacitor, got our emitter, got our power distribution matrix. First generation Type B Theta Blade hilt. Okay, 25 units of non-ferrous. And it's all about shock resistance. So we're going to go next. We're going to select this thallium copper, 799 shock resistance. Best I've found so far. Obviously, if someone has more or something that's a little bit higher as far as shock resistance, be happy to trade. Please reach out to me. I'm sure we can work something out. And not a bad result. Probably going to be about, I think, 850 to 880 as far as the final overall quality. The reason I worry about the overall quality of each individual unit is because obviously when you combine them all together, it's going to impact the overall quality of the final product. And apparently I have too much stuff in my inventory. So what are we going to do here? We got this. We got that. We're going to have to deploy this. This over here. Okay. Over here. And just place a couple of things to hover here. Okay. And we're going to go back here. We're going to go create object. We're going to say yes. That was successful. And we have our hilt. Overall quality is 900. Wow. That's actually significantly better than I had anticipated. Okay. So we have our hilt. 900 overall quality. Apparently, the material you use for the hilt will play into the final color of the Theta Blade. I'm not sure whether the hilt impacts the interior color or the radiated color. I'm thinking it's the interior color, just because the radiated color, it would make sense to me that that would be dictated by the color of the crystal you use. However, I might be wrong. It's going to take some experimentation. So this is a hilt where we used copper. We'll see what the result ends up being. I'm going to keep records of all the materials I use to create the different items and the final result, so that we can map that out and have predictability going forward as far as the materials we use and what the results are. So right now, just to summarize, we've got a hilt at 900 overall quality, condition 80. We have a power distribution matrix, overall quality 965, energy output 180, thermal output 196. We have the emitter, overall quality 855, attenuation 980, focus 961. And we have a downstream capacitor with an overall quality of 881, discordance of 136, which is very low which, as I understand it, will mean that the blade looks quite solid. It won't have a huge aura around it, because the lower the discordance, the more compact or focused the blade appears. Much like if you look at this, these wall units, there's not a lot of aura around these. I'm going to imagine the blade will come out actually looking very close to those. But you know what? I won't know until I actually see it. We got to see it. And the one thing I'm lacking right now is a crystal. Don't know where they are. Don't know where I can find them. Don't know where I can get them. If you find one, I'm happy for a price to make a blade for you using that crystal. If you bring all your mats, heck, I'll make it using your mats and I won't charge anything. But feel free to reach out to Saphire Mox on the Facebook page, and I will respond. Just post to Facebook with your in-game name, and Saphire Mox will shout out to you and let you know what's going on. Thank you very much for listening. This is my very first YouTube recording. I appreciate your patronage. Look forward to creating more, and hopefully we'll get some really neat and interesting information, and we'll figure out what's going on with these Theta Blades. Can't wait to see them, can't wait to play with them, and loving Divergence like you wouldn't believe. So a big shout out to Ethan and company for all the great work they've done, and I look forward to seeing you all in game. Bye for now.